Come one, come all, to a very, very special episode of the Teenage Club podcast, the Christmas special. Today, we are joined by our dear friend, Andrew. Can you say hi, Andrew?
Well, hi, fellas. It's a pleasure to be on here.
As always, I'm Isaac, and
I'm Lucas.
you are Lucas, yes.
I said my name twice.
So, yeah, you did. So, before, while we were setting up for this episode and stuff, Andrew kind of came on in a haste, and if you guys can hear, he's currently doing something. Andrew, you want to explain what you're doing right now?
Well, sure thing. Well, it is, believe it or not, when people record podcasts, it happens to happen a couple days before it's released. And so right now it's December 22nd, I think. And it's right before the Christmas holiday. And so everybody who slacks on their Christmas present is catching up on their Christmas presents. And that's what I'm doing. I'm wrapping some presents.
Huh.
That's pretty interesting.
So, you were saying that, it was going to take, a lot longer than 30 minutes. What's kind of your workload exactly right now?
Well, I can tell you what we're doing for the various family members, since I can't imagine they're going to look this up until later. My mom loves candy corn, but you can't really get candy corn for Christmas. It's kind of taboo, I guess, to have candy corn outside of Halloween. So while we were waltzing around Central Market, we found ourselves some Christmas-themed candy corn, some green, red, and white candy corn. And so now my mom can satisfy her candy corn craving and not be outcast.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's called reindeer corn, right?
Well, let's check the label. It says candy.
It just says candy corn. Okay.
Just says candy. It's a Central Market bulk item. So.
And is it the same thing as candy corn, just different colors, or
different dyes?
Yeah, is there anything different about this candy corn, or is it actually,
Well, if I opened it, I'd be eating somebody else's present, so I guess we'll find out in a couple days.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this is good.
Good stuff, I hope. Central Market sells it. It's good every time without exceptions.
Yeah. They're always good. They're never bad.
Never. Yeah, speaking of bad things at Central Market, they have a Indian food, exclusively Indian food aisle, and I think I've been growing up on the same culture my entire life, because by God, there is some stuff. I'm not brave enough to eat some of the stuff in there, but I would love to try it.
I think I know which section you're talking about. I've gotten a variety of things from that section. It's very good. It's very, very good.
I'm always looking to expand my palate,
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to just go, what are these people doing? But at the same time, some people look at us and go, eating hamburger helper, what planet are you from?
So you got your mom candy corn.
Yep.
But I'm still a little confused on just how many presents are surrounding you right now.
Well, I can't reveal all the gifts, but I can reveal the number. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another one that is kind of small, but it's being put in a bigger box because I ran out of boxes. And 10, which isn't in a box, so it should be easier to wrap.
That's pretty impressive, man.
Well, it's from... Mom is kind of the orchestrator of the traditions at the house, and so when everybody... when we decide to give gifts to Mom, it's kind of a coordinated effort from my dad, my brother, and I. And we distribute the wrapping responsibilities among us. And so not all these presents are from me. They do have to wrap.
I see.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming in your family, Christmas is a pretty big thing, right? It's it's the biggest event for you guys, right? Would you say that?
It is. We do the most for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would assume for most people, but yeah.
Right. It's it's more of a secular celebration for us. The excitement for Christmas doesn't necessarily come from the birth of Christ, rather than it is just Christmas. I guess it's more of a national thing. We are a religious family, but not Not as much as you might think.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
No,
you guys are Christian.
Yes,
Okay.
I would say loosely Christian.
Okay.
It is interesting, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get that many gifts from in my family. I don't know how it works in yours, Isaac, but like what we do is we just get, like one gift per person, and like each person gets a gift, you know? So like I gave my brother and my parents something, right? So that's three gifts from me, and then each person gives three gifts because there's three other people, and that equals a good amount. I mean, just like 10 gifts in general. That's like, holy shit, that's a
Yeah.
lot. Like,
Yeah.
We're in a consumerist arms race at our house.
yeah, exactly, exactly. That being said, I do have a bunch of gifts ready for everyone in our wonderful friend group, and that includes you, Andrew.
Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that.
Mhm.
What about me, Lucas?
Yeah,
Did you
you're
give me any?
included.
Yay!
You are included.
Thank you. Now I feel
Let
guilty
us-
and I need to get you something because
Mm.
I'm
Oh,
not as
sorry.
considerate.
I put this burden on you now.
Yes.
Can I say what I gifted people if they're not here? They're
Uh,
probably
Well, I won't tell him.
okay. I mean, they're probably not going to listen to this, right?
Well,
depends on who, right?
Do you think Sam Burke will listen to this?
Probably not.
yeah.
Okay, that's right there. I'm gonna say that he's not gonna listen to this, so I'm
Okay,
gonna tell you
just
what
go
I got
for it.
So I got him this wonderful calendar, a 2021 calendar, called Nice Jewish Men,
Oh
and
god.
it's like 12. Each month you have a lovely picture of a nice man who's from a Jewish background, and just talks about how calming and lovely they are, very, very kosher.
Is he
It's
shirtless?
very nice. Uh, I originally wanted to get the Spuds and Spurs one, um, which would be like shirtless cowboys and stuff. But I feel like, I don't want to. I don't know how Sam would react to that. So
Yeah, because it is Sam we're talking about.
yeah. Well, I spent a lot of time thinking about what I want to get him, and like I was in like a Spencer's, like trying to think of like, God, what do I get my friend who would hate this store? What do I get him from the store that he would like? And it's tougher than you think, really.
Mhm.
It's very tough.
So you found that calendar in the Spencers, right?
No, I found it outside the Spencers. I eventually gave up with the Spencers. Because I wanted to originally I was really close to getting him a Seinfeld mug, um, which is just kind of funny in
Yeah.
general. Like Seinfeld is like it's just comedic in like any sense, like pretty like ironically, or if you genuinely like Seinfeld, it's pretty funny. Anything with George Costanza on it is funny. But I didn't think Sam would find it funny. So I got to get him something, that I know that he would enjoy, he would put up, and that he could smirk at. And I
So
think,
you thought Jewish men.
yeah, I thought Jewish men.
I think
And
that
that
was a
was my-
good call. That was a good call.
Yeah, yeah. It was good stuff. It was good.
Yeah. Could you give me a hint of what you got me? Like, not be too revealing, right? Ruin the spirit of Christmas, but you got a hint.
The hint is that I got about half of the presents done yesterday, and then I got in a car crash last night, and I haven't gotten the rest. So I don't have your gift yet, Isaac.
Okay. Andrew, you heard about this?
Andrew, you knew. You knew about this.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's okay, Andrew. Well, Isaac, what's your gift giving regime like?
Well, I guess in my family, it's like, since my parents are divorced, it's like, it's sad, but it's also kind of a blessing because you get like two different sides of the family's Christmas, and you get two Christmases basically. You know what I mean?
Oh, wonderful.
So I am, I get extra spoiled for Christmas and stuff. We usually do, because I mean, this year obviously not gonna work out, but what we usually do is on Christmas Eve, we gather the troops, gather my family and stuff, and we all go to our grandparents' place, and we have dinner, do Swedish things, and then we go to the presents and stuff, right? And we sometimes they do white elephant, but most of the time it's just like kind of a classic free for all and stuff, and it's it's nice because it's like we don't really do the tradition of there, at least, of like waiting till Christmas morning. We just kind of them Christmas Eve and stuff. And but then Christmas Day comes around, and wake up. I still get to do the stockings, and then I get to go to my mom's place and do all the presents there. So it's like I really get kind of showered in presents, which is like
Okay.
undeserving. I don't know, but it's nice.
Pretty fun.
2% of the GDP comes from just your family.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Christmas and birthday money's pretty much my income right now. I need a job.
Tell me about it.
You got a job, Andrew?
I do not have a job. I was very,
You do have a
very,
side hustle.
very close to getting a job at my favorite places near where I live. It's a bowling alley, and it hasn't been remodeled since the early 90s, so it's really turquoise and polka dotish and neon and all that kind of Clintonish aesthetic.
Yeah.
And they turned me down initially in March because the virus was beginning to overtake the state. And then when things calmed down a little bit in our state, the governor was a little bit more lenient with entertainment venues like bowling alleys. And I was pretty close to getting a job, but they had to turn me down because I was still a minor. And so
Damn.
on my 18th birthday, which was pretty recently, I was planning to apply to the job once and for all. And the day that I turned 18 was the day that the governor closed the bowling alleys again.
Oh my god.
Do you think Jay Inslee just has it out for you? Like he does not like you?
I am so glad I'm not in his position, and I'm sure the policy that he comes up with is guided by people who are far more qualified than I. But I think that I think you make a good point. That coincidence is just a little bit too coincidental. I think the Department of Health has my number.
Yeah, that was a good PR answer.
Yes, that was very good. That was a very political answer. Very politician.
Oh god.
I'll be honest. I mean, I have a job. I work at a local. Oh god.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Just
Okay.
I'll
what
continue. I'll
Yeah.
continue by saying I have a job, and I got my job by going on Indeed and applying for every single job that would take me that would hire minors and people without work experience. And I got it eventually just because they randomly called me and they say, hey, you want a phone interview? I was like, yeah, okay. So I did it. And then they were like, okay, we have two positions. We have one in like two different stores. Which one do you want? And I'm like, I want both. And they're like, okay. And then I got the second one. So, worked out.
Yeah.
Nice.
At the Acura. So how
Yes.
like describe kind of your job, because like you've kind of tried to explain it before, but like I'm not really sure. Like what is it you do is what I'm trying to say.
It's a really interesting job because unlike something like a McDonald's or like grocery store where you have like one task and you just kind of do it for the whole day, I'm really just floating around and just like doing whatever people ask me to do. And so that means it's kind of laid back. So like I'm like a cross between like a car salesman and like a technician and like a office worker and like a mechanic and an attendant. I'm just like every single job. So I can like
Jack of all trades.
yeah, basically if you need me in a car dealership, I'm there. And I just do shit. Like I would say the majority of my job is washing cars, moving cars, and fueling cars. And the majority of those are Acuras. Because it's an Acura dealership. But, it's a pretty good job. And it's a lot of downtime as well, so I could just do whatever. The salespeople are some of the biggest characters I think I've ever seen in, like, my entire life. It's really stupid.
Are they like the Jimmy McGills of the world?
Jesus, they're worse than that.
Oh my god.
Okay, I gotta
Like, what
tell
are
you
they like?
something that happened. Let me tell you something that happened. So once I answer to like a bunch of different salespeople. So like whenever any type of salesperson comes up and says, "Hey, can you do this?" I do it, right? Like they're my bosses basically. Like I didn't even know my manager's name for like 2 weeks that I worked there. Like I just knew like every salesperson because that's the person they'd go to and they'd come to me. So And I didn't even realize this at first, but like some of the salespeople have like feuds between each other because you know it's all commission work, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so when someone steals a sale, they actually get really mad at each other. And like one that was and like so like three of the salespeople there are like you know these older guys who are like super they're in their 30s and they're pretty successful and they're like super hard, and this other guy is just a young like 20-year-old Korean guy who just talks to me. And these older guys were like well, I heard this today. It was like this one guy who works there was saying, "Oh man, this other guy he stole my sale, man." He's like he doesn't even like care about like my sale, and he's like, you know, I had some like gangster cousins, man. Like I don't know if we need to like do something
Oh
about it, but like we
god.
might want to like beat him up. And it was like I just was like starting to like walk away, just like sidestep away.
That's so good. Do you
Like,
ever
Final
and like
Honda man.
yes,
what's kind of the hardest job? You said you've done a bunch of jobs. What's kind of the hardest one that they make you do, or the one that's the
least fun.
least fun? Yeah.
Um, it's like I mean like moving like driving cars is easy, right?
Yeah.
But when you're given a task to like cleaning cars is actually it's harder than you'd think because you have to it's not like you bring it to a car wash, you know, you're cleaning a
Mhm.
car by hand, and so the hardest part is cleaning those really tall crossovers and like MD SUVs and stuff. Like your arms, man, they're tired at the end of that, and it's rough.
Yeah.
It's like it's a whole process.
Hmm.
It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Inside and
I
out.
got a question for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can tell you the whole. I can tell you the step by step. First, you hose it down, and then you have a bucket with soap and shit in it, and then you know scrape down the whole car with a brush, um, and then you rinse it again, and then you use chamois to dry it, and then you use razor blades to get all the stickers off the windows, and then you use glass cleaner to clean off all the windows, and then you use the vacuum to vacuum out the seats and the carpet and everything else and the mats and stuff, and then you use rags to wash all the inner parts of the doors and trims and stuff like that. And then you use linen cleaner to clean the seats and the cloth and the vinyl and stuff inside the car. And then you use tire shine to shine the tires. And then you drive it and then you fill it up at a commercial gas station. And then it's done.
A
Awesome.
what?
Yeah, you know, it's good.
A
It's a good job.
commercial gas station?
Yeah, yeah. So we have to take it to a commercial gas station, which is very fun. A little scary.
It's not like a consumer gas station?
Yeah, this is like the stuff that like truckers use. Um, it's very fun. It has like old school fuel pumps, which are like they have like the physical like counter inside and it, like dings and it like clicks and stuff.
Very nice.
I'm like really surprised that like premium fuel comes out of that. Like I'm afraid it'll blow up, but it doesn't, so it's all good.
They make it
Um,
happen.
yeah, yeah. But Andrew, um, how's the present wrapping going?
Well, my mom's phone gets sluggish. She's running a Moto G5
Ooh,
and, or excuse me, a G7, and that phone is only about a year old. The app standards. She's a pretty heavy Facebook user, and
yeah.
especially Facebook Messenger. And the Facebook company seems to be uh, completely unaware of how much cache storage they're using. And so the phone can go from brand new to unusable in a matter of months after enough using of Facebook. And so uh, that's partly her storage and it's partly her RAM, but the Motorola company seems to have be interested in making money because they came out with another model called the Moto G Fast, and it's a lot faster, which is
Yes.
you know it's the G Fast, um, and so we are getting her a faster phone. And right now, I finished up wrapping the phone, and I'm wrapping up the screen protector and case.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Sound busy.
Well, it's actually not super mentally demanding. Like I'm fully immersed in the conversation.
You sound very immersed.
I can't
Like
tell if that was sarcastic.
it's yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I'm just. I guess.
Okay. No, I like that you're preparing and stuff, right? for the Christmas holiday. I like that you're thinking one step ahead.
Oh well,
But
thank you.
you want to take a break?
Exactly.
You want to talk about politics?
Okay. I don't know if this is going to stay on the tape or not, but I am dead serious when I say you have my full attention. It's not necessarily undivided attention, but I am hearing you and thinking about it just fine. The reason I haven't been talking is because about 2/3 of what you were just talking about is like Lucas's job, which is fine. I like hearing about it, but that's why I haven't been talking, because I don't want to interrupt.
No,
I think both of me and Isaac are just still very confused on why you're so urgently wrapping presents 3 days before Christmas.
Well, tomorrow I'm going on a date, and the day after that is Christmas Eve, which is not ideal for wrapping presents. We make a pretty big deal out of our dinner, so the whole day is kind of food prep. And Christmas Day is, well, you know, it's a little too late to be wrapping presents.
You can sneak some under there, right? You can just slide them under.
Yeah, it's not too hard. Andrew, what if my present was like a big can of Red Bull?
Would you like me to get you a big can of Red Bull?
No, I just said my present.
I'm now going to get you a big can of Red Bull.
God damn it.
That means
I don't know
more
if that's
wrapping
really
presents.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the same worth of present I'm giving you, Andrew. I think you already know the present I'm giving you, right?
I do, and it's, you know, it's impressive that you can make that. That is something that would go for a lot of money on Etsy. That's very kind of you.
Oh, don't worry about it, man. Well, I shouldn't. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's just It's a stupid thing. It's a stupid necklace that like no one ever wears. It's just.
So I would wear it.
I don't know, man. I would like cut up like your chest. So okay, what I'm giving Andrew here is I'm giving him a processor, and a processor, if you don't know, you know, has a little gold on the bottom. It's like a big square of metal, which is very heavy and sharp.
Yeah.
And I just drilled a hole through it, and now it's on a necklace. And I gave one to our previous man, Liam, who was you know, our TSA president last year. And it's partly because now Andrew's president, but also partly because I think Andrew would actually use this gift, unlike Liam.
So it's just showing the sign of leadership in
Yes,
the community.
exactly.
Yes.
And it looks kind of swag as well, so I think it's kind of it's a win-win.
Yeah. And you
Anything
I'll
you make
see
is
it.
a win-win. That's very kind of you.
Damn.
So, Andrew, what? Okay. So, you've had a lot of Christmases with your family, right? You're
right.
saying Christmas is a big deal, and
Yes.
I bet you've had a lot of, you know, fantastic Christmases in the past, right? It sure sounds like that. I guess
Right.
what I'm gonna ask you is, what's kind of your favorite Christmas memory? You know, like what's a time
My
from your
favorite
past
Christmas.
that you've enjoyed? Yes.
Well, we have this tradition, which I'm actually doing right now. The labels on our presents get pretty creative. Each label for each box is a hint in the form of X Santa. And so, let's see, if you got somebody a lamp, it would be 2X from Bright Santa. And so we do this with every single gift. And it's not necessarily, you know, it doesn't make the Christmas. I mean, gifts are objects, but at the same time, when I'm older and I got to remember something, that's definitely up there. It's a fun little thing that I think I'm gonna carry on to the future.
So just like little hints of like what it could be, basically, to kind of excite you. What?
Little hints.
Yeah.
We got my dad a M2 solid state hard drive or disk drive, and it's mostly because my brother got an M2 drive, and my dad is used to having the best computer in the house, so he had to catch up. But there's a law called Moore's Law that states that every Lucas, what is it?
Okay, no, I want to hear you explain, Andrew.
I don't know what the time period is. Maybe it's every 2 years, but every X amount of time, the amount of storage that you can fit on a square inch doubles. And,
Yes.
So that present is from Moore Santa.
No, that's very true. Um, when did it start? Was it year 2000 that it started like to being recognized as a real thing?
I don't know, but whenever they did, it sure stopped quickly because we've gotten so good at following that law that we can't do it anymore because your transistors can only get so small.
Exactly.
So at
Yeah.
some point, we're going to hit the point where unless we can start, storing bits in something the size of a Planck length that's shorter than a electron, I don't, we're going to hit a wall.
Well, that's why we have things like triple level cell memory systems and stuff like that. Interesting things. We can do advances without advancing the actual technology of transistors.
One of the things that
Yes.
when they were marketing MS DOS, there was a competing version of DOS called DR DOS or something like that.
Right.
And Microsoft doesn't necessarily like competition. They tended to be a very cutthroat company back then. So one of the killer apps that they used to advertise on their boxes was, when you would buy operating systems at a supermarket, was double your disk space without having to buy a new hard disk. And nobody really knew what was going on except for the nerds. And, the bulletin board system wasn't super big back then, so it was kind of like magic. But it turned out they didn't do, jack diddly squat to your hard drive. They were just compressing the things you were saving on the fly. So it was like everything on your disk was a zip file. And of course, they didn't talk about the read write or the access times because they were horrendous because everything was getting compressed on the fly. But it sure did work, and nobody hears about DR DOS anymore, so Microsoft wins again.
It actually is a very interesting, history there. Talking about their old marketing and how they would market this to people who didn't understand it. Because nowadays with trying to market new features, they just take these kind of nerdy buzzwords and terms and stuff, and turn them into easy talking points that you can put on like a bullet board or like a slideshow, like
Sure.
2.4 teraflops and stuff like that.
That's processing.
When the majority of like real world performance benefits and boosts and stuff come from things like lithography and modern efficiency and new memory activation and shit like that, stuff that's really interesting, but you can't easily put up. So when you have like these old technologies that are super analog and is easier for people to understand, you had to say stupid shit like doubles your hard disk space without talking about, like you said, read write speeds. This is really nerdy stuff.
This is where I get lost.
That's what we like.
Isaac, what do you think about this?
I don't know.
Okay.
This has surpassed the IQ of Mr. Isaac. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not, anything can be a niche and anybody can learn everything about a niche. People just get intimidated by the computer niche, but it takes the same amount of skills to learn everything about computers as it does to know everything there is about Star Wars or Game of Thrones.
That is true. Yes.
The computers run the world, so I guess it seems a little intimidating.
Yes.
No, yeah, and it's like, yeah, it would be interesting. Lucas, I need to just have like a sit down class with you and Andrew. You need to just like, yeah, give me the talk, give me your what's that program called? The like master class or whatever. You need to become a master class.
On like how computers work.
Yeah.
Yo, hosts like you and I in a YouTube ad, that'd be interesting.
Hi,
well,
I'm Lucas.
It's pretty simple.
Okay.
Think of computers just like glorified calculators, okay?
Oh god.
Computers and their whole design are designed to solve problems, right? That's why they're called computers. They compute problems that they are given. And there's a variety of elements that go into that process that are all implemented in different physical and software ways and interfaces and a variety of things within a computer system and its entire solution, in fact, to do this sort of thing.
Boolean balls equals true.
For instance.
True.
Yes,
it's true. It's true.
It is true. Yeah, don't question it. Isaac, you're better at coding than I am, though.
I mean, forgot most of
Yeah.
when we were in computer science last year. It's probably all gone. I mean, some of it is probably there. I still have my notebook, so I guess I could, if I really wanted to like practice Java. I guess I could like go back and use it. I just need to get Eclipse and stuff again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm surprised how much you didn't like that class, Lucas.
No, I really did not. No.
I thought it was. I thought it was like. I know it was. I know your whole thing is like computer hardware or whatever, but I thought like it was at least in the ballpark, you know, of the Lucas interest area.
I think
was it like was it like you always hated it, or was like there's something that made you hate it?
You know, there's things that like interest me. There's things that pull me towards like things I like, and I think, you know, early children who love to code, you know, from a young age were drawn to things like Scratch and stuff like that, which makes sense. I think those are very primitive coding platforms and stuff like that. And I wasn't one of those kids. I was drawn to, you know, old Nintendo consoles and soldering and stuff like that. So the complete other side of that. And, you know, even within that, I know quite a bit about software. I just say I don't because I'm bad at coding. But I know things about like inner Windows directories and source linking and stuff like that. It's interesting. I find that stuff cool, but, you know, I'm not a coder. And it seems like it's not an even split of people who are into computer science, because you have like this huge amount of people who are good at coding, and like you go to this wonderful class where all of your peers are coding on laptops all around you, and it's heaven. It looks like heaven. And then like an error pops up, like memory address failure, and they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And then that's where it's like, okay, I don't like coding, but I know what that pop-up means. I know what's happening. Exactly, yeah.
So, do you feel like is it like I'm just trying to follow you here. Are you feeling like you're wasting your time in that class? Did you feel like your time was wasted because it wasn't like in your area of interest specifically?
I don't think it was wasted. And Andrew, I think you could chime in on this too, because you have a pretty similar experience.
I did.
You are smarter than me though, Andrew. So you probably did better in that class.
Such a ridiculously subjective thing to say.
Anyway, what I mean by this is just like, I'm interested in computer hardware because I understand it and because I find it interesting. You know, I love solder boards and I love daughter boards and I love TLC and I love NAND flashes and I love, you know, oh God, I love it all. I love it and I find it interesting and I pursue it on my own. Never did that with computer coding. And it seems like a really large amount of people are doing that with computer coding. And I don't know if there's resentment there, but it is a little bit disheartening when, you know, you love computers and you love everything about them, and then you go into a computer class and everyone around you is coding, and you have no idea what you're doing and you can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Well, when it says computer on it, it's a little bit of a catch-all for, you know, the title of that class was misleading. If they're going to say that they're going to teach us Java, then they should put that in the course description.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It was a little bit of a misleading class because it's just like computer science, and we'll cover multiple aspects of computer science.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
I think it's a great first step, though. It's we have some. The United States has a problem. We really kicked ass after the Second World War with manufacturing, because that was the big thing. And, you know, because the European countries were destroyed and developing economies were still figuring out sticks.
right.
The United States was really on the top of the world. And so they would invest billions and billions and billions of dollars into educating the public on how to be a functional laborer. And our GDP just exploded because of the investment in education. You still have classes today that are mainly based around how to teach people to manufacture. A lot of what we learn in chemistry is mainly about metal science. A lot of what we learn in math is about angles and cutting and sectioning and shapes. It didn't just come from nowhere. But the the problem is now that we have am I still coming through?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sorry, my screen just went dark on my Mac. Hold on. I'll plug in my charger.
We're very high quality podcast here.
All right. Well, now that we have a considerable competitor out east, the Chinese are using the same recipe for success that we used in the post-war period. So we are, as Americans, soundly getting our ass kicked when it comes to electronics, to the point where you will not, and it's pretty hard to get to a point where you can say this, but this is true, you will not find an electronics store or even a class in the free education system or in the consumer market that will allow you to explore hardware or software. And so you have this industry, computing and hardware, that has completely taken over the world and will decide the balance of power for the rest of human existence. But we have invested nothing in it because people who were still alive in the time period where everything worked thinks that we don't need to change anything.
Right. It's
And
interesting.
so we are fucked.
We're fucked in like one sense. That's the thing. I think we're fucked in like a certain sense, but like in general we're not, because I think there's a delay.
So recoverable.
Let's say the modern computer was invented in the 1960s or 70s, right?
Sure.
And people who were into computers at the time in the 60s and 70s and maybe the early 80s were hardware enthusiasts. They were hardware and software enthusiasts. These were like the most influential people. This was the Steve Wozniaks and all those people. They were both. They were electrical engineers first and foremost, and they knew how their logic boards worked, and they also programmed for them. But when in the late 80s and 90s, when manufacturing and like this stuff became more common, and it all moved over to Asia, China and Taiwan and Indonesia, wherever, the focus in America stopped being of hardware. It just was, because you would just buy the hardware and then learn how to use it. And so I think we're seeing what right now is like the kids or those people like following in the footsteps of that, because we had like a generation of IT consultants and people who started their work life in the late 80s or early 90s working with the different versions of Windows and then Shell and all that stuff, and moving into modern system administration, and then their kids and people who are following in their footsteps see modern applications on the internet being as like the second wave of that. And it is in a sense, but we're so far gone from the world of hardware designing and just like pure computer hardware innovation, really, that most of that stuff is just outsourced out of the country. And it's kind of sad to see, and there's a lot of elements to that, and I'm probably not the most qualified person to talk about it, but I'm just my prediction in the future, in like maybe a solid like 10 years or so, I think we're going to see a huge crash in the amount of web developers that are going to be needed. Because like right now
only gets so saturated.
It's going to be extremely saturated. There's not going to be any more $120,000 a year jobs at Amazon for network developers.
Right.
And I hope, and although that's sad and that sucks, and like I hope that kickstarts a.
You're a little biased from a hardware man.
I am biased from a hardware man. But as sad as that is, I hope that kickstarts a little bit of an innovation kick. Like get more American minds and anyone really to start thinking about how we can improve our technology as it is. Because right now, things haven't changed all that much in the past 10 years, hardware-wise. I mean, we've had a lot of innovations in efficiency and especially things like lithography. But overall, the fundamental design of how everything works has been the same for about 10 years, maybe even a little bit more. And we haven't had any huge changes, since like 2006. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. And I just wish I could sign up for a computer science class at college and get a class that doesn't involve Java code.
Well,
it's come full circle.
It has come full circle.
Computer engineering degree is pretty widespread.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people go for electrical engineering and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, I'm, too young to be an arbiter of history, but if I had to pinpoint a place where, quote, it started to go wrong, unquote, I would say it was Richard Nixon. And that's a little bit of an odd take, but let me explain what I mean, if that's okay.
Yeah,
If I'm rambling, go ahead and stop me. So Richard Nixon was a kind of, I am reacting to the social changes that are happening in the 60s kind of Republican. And so he didn't have too much policy to run on besides reacting to what was happening in society. So he was like, look at all these protests, we're going to have law and order. Or, look at this unemployment, we are going to invest X, Y, and Z. There wasn't a huge groundswell of original ideas. And so when you're in office and you assume the powers of the presidency, you also have to assume the awesome responsibility of the foreign policy of the United States. And so at the same time, you have China reeling from its civil war and suffering under a communist dictatorship. And Richard Nixon decides that the United States are going to act as the police of Earth and that we are going to liberate the Chinese. And so he opens up trade with China with the theory that if China is introduced to international trade and capitalism, then their citizens will gradually get more and more civil liberties because, freedom has to come with capitalism, apparently. And so he opens this up to China, and what happens is you get a mix of Chinese capitalism and Chinese totalitarian communism.
Yep.
And so fast forward,
worst of both worlds.
right. So fast forward to 1990, and the mid 90s, and you have a President Bill Clinton who sees that China has successfully industrialized and is starting to explode money-wise, but their labor standards are still subpar because when people are working in China to expand the capital of China, they're not working for themselves, they're working for the glory of the state, of the motherland. So you have ridiculously low pay, but it's hold on just a second.
China's
I agree with Andrew here. I think, it's very annoying to see, the memes, talking about how awful China is because it's a communist dictatorship, because it's not. it's god awful because it uses capitalism to its benefit, of huge wage gaps and societal class issues, but it also uses the totalitarianism of its previous communist overruling by also having such lack of labor laws and extreme control over how people act and censorship issues and stuff like that. It's basically just one of the worst countries in the world right now, and it's a global superpower, and we're about to die because we're shit talking.
Yeah. It's well said.
It's okay. We'll be okay.
We'll be okay.
Andrew's back.
Our problem to be drafted for, I suppose. That's one thing I can really get behind the president on is NAFTA was a terrible idea.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about this.
Well, I am by no means a fan of. I need to be careful what I say in this house. But
Speaker
good
minds.
God, the idea that the United States could thrive on an information economy, but export the actual manufacturing and goods for a penny of the price because they don't have labor standards over there is the definition of imperialist capitalism, and it is coming back to bite us in the ass.
It sucks.
How did we get here?
Yeah, how did we get here? This is great.
I think that's just what happens when you get into a Discord call with like Andrew, right? It's just like we talk about like computer science, and then we go like to like astronomical like subjects and like stuff that affects whole countries, right? We
Yes.
we just make that big leap somehow, and it'll be interesting playing this back and seeing the
We're
journey
like
that.
the least we're like the least qualified people to talk about
No,
this.
I'm gonna be
Because
real.
I have no idea what
I'm gonna be real. I have no idea what you guys have been talking about for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, so
Sorry
here's how a
about
computer
that.
works. That's okay. That's okay.
You already told me how a computer works.
Here's how a computer works. Actually, you know what we're gonna talk about?
What are we
Let's
gonna
talk
talk about?
about RAID configurations, Andrew.
Uh,
Let's talk about
you
RAID 0.
lost me
Super
there. I
interesting.
like having one hard drive with one volume.
Ah, shit. God, what do we have communal knowledge on, Andrew?
Um, what's good lunch food for the Shoreline School District?
Good idea. That's a good thing to talk about.
So everybody can talk about that. Thank you, Matthew.
Oh, did he say the chicken gravy with the mashed potatoes?
He did say
Yes.
chicken gravy with mashed potatoes.
That is the best lunch they served at our school district. It was so good. I think they served that across the country as well because I've seen many people talk about it.
What
God,
about
I
it was so
will
good.
what about the cheese sticks?
never
Though?
forgive Michelle Obama for what happened to our school lunches.
I think the school lunches got okay. I think the school lunches got considerably better after Michelle Obama.
Oh, better for you.
I thought they just tasted better in general.
Maybe
Like
you
the-
have the palate of a healthy man.
Okay, maybe I do. But yes, what Isaac was saying here, the two best lunches at all of I think it's a general Seattle school district as well, are the fucking cheese sticks.
Yeah, those are
Like
so good. Oh my god, those are my favorite.
It's not even food. It's literally pastry and cheese.
It's good though. It's like gooey and like.
It's delicious.
You know what I mean?
It's just so good, but like, it's not food.
I mean, nothing served is real. You know that, right?
Yeah, but like, if we're gonna directly compare, the different meals, we have chicken gravy, which is like a delicious like chicken soup basically, in with like a big scoop of mashed potatoes. I mean, obviously it's powdered mashed potatoes, and the chicken gravy is just okay. It's pretty salty, but still, that's really good, man. And I think that's more comparable to food than the cheese sticks, which are like a what even is it? Like it's like a almost like pizza crust? Or like
I
what
don't
is
even
it?
know.
It's really
It,
soft.
it's
It's
like
good.
um, it's like one of those like apple like tart pastry things, but they just put cheese in it. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? Yeah, like those little apple pie things from like
I
McDonald's or
looked up
whatever.
yeah. I looked up school lunch cheese sticks and yeah, it's like exactly like what we got. Damn,
They were good.
Max snacks. Oh,
I don't
that's what they're called. Cheese-filled breadsticks.
huh. They don't
Filled with
taste like bread.
mozzarella. No, that's definitely not bread. It's way too soft to be bread. Plus, you get oh my god, you get the marinara with it.
Mm.
I'm curious because our school districts are funded by our property taxes, and so the quality of everything in a school district varies by the income of where they
Mhm.
live. I wonder how the food differs by median
My
income.
district. I wonder. Yeah, because like Seattle would obviously have a higher median income, right? But like, I
Well,
feel
yeah,
like the
'cause
food is
they've got.
worse.
I'm just I'm thinking.
Yeah,
What if you? That's my
I hear
cat.
it.
Yeah, I
That's a
hear your
very loud
cat.
If you are a dead broke school district, what do you have, or what do you have to, I guess, apply for a loan for, versus if you're I don't know, Los Angeles Unified Public School District.
Mm. Yeah, I wonder.
Are the lunches the same by like state? Like, do they all go to the like? Do they get it from the same place, or is it just every school district is responsible for like finding
think
somewhere to
it's
get food?
I think it's
I
every
haven't
school
read
district.
the law.
I think it is by school district, but I think like they have a lot of like the similar kind of vendors like they get that from.
Yeah.
Um, you know, because up here we have these really nice looking schools. I mean, oh my God, they're like museums.
Hmm.
And then like other things like there's no heating. It's like, what are they doing? But you know, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm happy.
I'm happy with it. I'm fine. I don't want them to sue us.
I
Well,
don't think they can't sue you because you're a student of.
They can expel me.
they can't sue you. Period. It's what are they going to get you in trouble for? Making fun of them? It's a
You don't know that.
This is America.
You know? Yeah. Oh, I forgot we have freedom of speech. We're all good.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything bad to say about our schools though, especially around the lunches. Like they're okay.
I've always been a packed lunch man myself, so I don't really have.
I've always
I mean,
been.
other than the cheese sticks and stuff, like I don't really have much of a big. I remember at our middle school though. I don't know if it's just me. Okay, tell me if it's just me.
Okay.
So, at our middle school, they would have like pizza, like actually good pizza, like it tasted fresh. I remember it used to taste fresh, but then
Right.
after like a few weeks, like starting out at our middle school, like it just suddenly became shit, and I don't know why. Is this just me?
I think we
experienced
are.
the exact same thing.
Wait, what?
Our school went through the same transformation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Not
like
sure.
because it tasted like it almost tasted like they made it in house, you know, but then all of a sudden it just tasted like half microwaved pizza that was like frozen. Like it was still like it was so nasty. There was like cheese was like one solid entity like on top of the pizza and stuff, and it was like you could like I remember you'd be able to like peel it back. It was so gross.
It's unfortunate.
But it used to
I
be
do
like
remember
actually
this.
baked. Yeah, you remember this?
Yeah. Oh,
Like-
there were so many like food stories from God's school though.
God.
From God's school.
Is that just what you're gonna call our middle school?
Yeah,
God school?
yeah. I'm gonna call it God's school.
How's your
He's
present
very-
rapping going?
Oh no.
What
Oh,
happened?
no.
Are you good, man?
I got my dad a mug and I just opened it and little pieces of porcelain from the handle just came out.
Oh,
Oh God.
I'm so
The
sorry.
handle just fell apart.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
What a shame.
Maybe that's what happens when you try doing two things at once. I guess.
Totally. Maybe I'll file it down so there's no handle.
Yeah, maybe like I think
Fixes when it's
She fixed a valve that was shattered.
are you like repenting for your sins or something? Like maybe this is like getting back at karma
Dad,
for
I
something?
might have to take a short break.
No, don't leave yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
That easy.
Chilling.
I'd say we're getting to the point like we're just gonna like we can chill out for a second and then what?
Did you say something?
That's what I'm thinking. I think we might need to take a short break.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Hold on.
You alright? Wait.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sorry. Okay.
What is happening, Andrew? Are you good?
No, I'm good. I need. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I need to use the bathroom, and I also need to get up and talk to my mom for a second. So I'm thinking
Okay.
we could
Okay. We'll take a brief intermission. We'll cut this out.
And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yes.
take that out of the tape. Okay.
Brief
Back
intermission.
at a 9:40.
Alright. Sorry about that, guys. We were just taking a short intermission. Andrew had to deal with something real quick, but we are back.
He had to use the toilet.
Hmm
He has his body functions.
But yeah, you're off present rapping duty?
I am off present wrapping duty. I feel great.
Yeah, that's good. So we
Well,
have
what's the
your
first thing?
fullest
Oh,
and
sorry.
complete undivided attention, right? So you said?
That's right.
Okay, good.
All right, that's
Anyway.
good.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let me find a question to shoot at you.
Sure.
All right. So,
what the
opinion on
fuck?
Christmas. Wait, what?
I think someone just joined. the chat.
ho!
Holy shit!
Christmas!
What? What?
Holy shit, Santa?
Wait,
Santa?
wait, no.
Wait.
No. This is a gap. This is not real.
What do you? Who is
What?
this?
What?
It's Santa Claus.
Andrew?
Andrew, is that you?
Andrew? Andrew, is that you? Are you pulling her?
The
See what
fuck?
the username.
What?
Santa.
I'm looking at the username. I'm gonna figure this out.
Santa just joined our voice channel.
I'm
Santa.
sure.
What? No.
Santa,
No.
Santa Claus.
Sa-
I
wait,
want
wait,
you
wait,
guys.
wait, Santa, is that really you? Like, wait, give me your
Well,
best.
of
hope.
course it is.
Give
Who
me
else
your-
would it be?
How do we know it's you?
How do we know it's you?
Ho, ho, ho.
Say something only Santa would say.
I don't think anybody does a great ho, ho, ho as great as I do.
Yeah, I think,
pretty good.
I think this is a real Santa, right? This is a real Santa.
It's either Elijah or Archer.
Nope. I don't think so.
I'm
This is
not
the
a
real Santa. You
fan.
proved it.
The real Santa Claus wouldn't be in two other Discord servers that I'm on.
Yeah, you
Sure,
would.
that's real Santa.
He's just spreading his Christmas cheer, okay?
All right.
I think that's
Thank you.
happening here.
So Santa, welcome.
I guess you're a guest now, right?
Yeah, you're a guest now. So,
Am I an official guest now?
yes. Welcome to the TeenageClub podcast.
Well, thank you.
My name's Lucas. I'm joined here with my co-host and my equally host Isaac.
Thank you.
And we were
Hello, Lucas and
originally-
Isaac.
We were originally
Oh, man.
interviewing Andrew here about various things, talking about politics and tech and stuff. And Santa, you just joined in. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
You swamped at the North
I'm not
Pole
too much
right
on.
now?
I'm not too much on politics. I just want to spread the Christmas cheer.
Santa, who did you vote for in 2000?
I am not registered to vote.
To drink less coffee.
What?
How are you doing, Andrew?
Doing great, Mr. Kringle. How about yourself?
I'm doing jolly.
Wait, so do you go by Kris Kringle or Saint Nicholas? Like, what's kind of your preferred name? Because I've always wondered, like, because I've heard the two be used.
Well, my
kind
birth
of
certificate
interchangeably.
says Kris Kringle, but Saint Nick has kind of grown on me.
Huh.
Where were you born?
In the North Pole, of course.
That's,
Where do you think,
That's
Lucas?
really hard to
what kind of
believe.
what kind of question was that?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm just like, I'm still in shock that Santa is joined. Santa, I have one question for you.
Go ahead.
Is Andrew on the naughty list?
Why would Andrew be on the naughty list? He's been a good boy ever since I knew him.
It's good to know.
How long have you known Andrew? Do you know about all the piracy that he's committed?
Well, I don't know about that.
If I rat out Andrew, will you put me on the nice list?
You're already on the nice list.
Shit.
Can we be? Oh,
Oh,
he's gone. He
oh no. Where did Lucas go?
I do not know.
Today has been a fever
What?
dream.
Luke, you okay, Lucas? Did you just tell your mom that Santa joined our Discord?
Yeah, I had to let a few people know. Wow, holy
Great.
shit.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, this is good. I think this is
So,
a good addition to the podcast.
am I on the nice list, Santa?
You all are on the nice list.
Thank you. So I assume you're a fan of the show if you just decided to barge in, right?
Well, one of my elves told me that Teenage Club was doing a Christmas special, so I figured I would join and spread some Christmas cheer.
Well,
That's pretty
I'm
fun.
glad you chose our podcast to spread the Christmas cheer too. It's really been
Thank you.
yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. Just another question for you. I have some, I didn't think I'd actually be talking to Santa right now, but I have all these questions that I've always wanted to ask. So
Go ahead.
what do you say to the Santa deniers out there that say that you're not real, you're just a lie made up by parents to convince them and kind of bound them into the Christmas spirit. Like, what do you say to that?
That is a great question. I don't give them very much thought. I think that they don't know how to enjoy Christmas for what it truly is.
Mm-hmm.
And they are not good at just enjoying the Christmas spirit.
Do you think they believe this lie, or do you think it's more of a, it's just like they want to protect the newer generations from Santa for some reason?
I understand that my idea seems somewhat childish and that people don't generally believe it. But I think it's good to have something childish in everybody's life.
Yeah.
Andrew, what do you think of that?
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't have any sort of fantastical relief in your life and you're taking everything seriously, then, I mean, you can't be good company if you don't have any fun.
Andrew,
I can't.
I'm surprised.
Straight face anymore. I want to admit, we actually did call Santa about a week ago. We asked him if he could make an appearance on the Teenage Club podcast, and he agreed. Our real introduction here. Welcome, Santa, to the Teenage Club podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
And bless you, Andrew, for excusing this. I mean, this is the Christmas special after all, and we haven't been talking about too much Christmassy stuff. I mean,
Feels a lot like the Eric Andre show right now.
are there any questions you want to ask Santa?
Did you deliver presents to the children on Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the Teenage Club podcast. I've been Lucas.
This is Isaac.
Joined by Isaac. He's helping us. Joined very specially. Thank you, Andrew, for being on our podcast today. I think we had a lot of fun. We talked about a lot of good stuff, and thank you, Santa, for just hopping in. That was I think that was a great appearance. I think we made a wonderful, wonderful Christmas special this time of year.
It's an episode to be treasured.
Yes.
You are very welcome.
I think it's a great way to end 2020 and ending season 1 of the Teenage Club podcast.
The last episode of the year. I just realized. I didn't even realize
the season
that.
finale.
Yeah.
Season finale of the Teenage Club podcast.
Oh,
thank you so much for listening.
Thank
you
all
for joining us.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in, taking the time during your Christmas or whatever just to kind of support the show and stuff, and just giving us nice feedback and spending the Christmas with us. Yeah
Exactly. I'm gonna ban Andrew from the Discord server, and then we're good to go. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I'll say goodbye.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.